Hello everyone, Drew here for Underground Gaming, back live on YouTube, not for a stream of Underground Gaming. Yes, I know I'm live, shut up, phone. God damn it. But for it, is it worth it for MLB The Show? As you guys see the title, you see the thumbnail. You saw the last video that got posted up on the channel of me playing MLB The Show from my Twitch channel. And the glitch that basically kind of takes the fun to a point out of the Road to the Show mode in MLB The Show 23. But before I get into any of that specific stuff, joining me today, I hope you guys can hear him. If any of you show up anytime soon in the chat, let me know if you can hear my partner in crime here on the channel, my younger brother, Desert Nord. Hey, bro. And just in case, I'll turn you up to 28 here on volume. So, MLB The Show came out almost a week ago, come Tuesday, I believe. And during that time, I had a lot of time with it. I created and deleted a number of fucking characters for Road to the Show, and trying to see if anything worked to get around the batting glove, shin guard, and elbow guard bugging out, as in, once you equip it and save your settings, they don't fucking stay saved at all. However, you can change the color of your cleats, you can change the length of your pants, the length of your jersey. You can, in my case, I could change the sleeves, like the composite sleeves. Some people can't, apparently, but I could. But for me, it was the batting glove, the shin guard, and the elbow guard that just wouldn't stay. Everything else would save, but those fucking things. And that's a fucking problem. As Joshi has pointed out here on the channel a number of times, so shout out to Joshi064, the third amigo here on the channel, who is out at a concert for Evanescence or something, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so he's having a good time at a concert. We're here on YouTube complaining about a baseball game. Anything you want to add before we get into any other specific thing that you've noticed from what you've seen?
Global glitch is actually something you'd think that developers would learn how to get this stuff.
Well, it was not a problem in 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Going back to the very first game. This is the first time ever that this has been an issue. Going all the way back to, was it 2005 or 4 when the first one came out?
Yep. It's called changing something and breaking things.
Yeah, and they changed quite a few animations. The sound of the bat on the ball is different, so they changed quite a few things, and apparently broke other things that were never fucking broken ever in the history of MLB The Show.
Yeah, the bat on the ball sounds, I have to say, that's a disimprovement for sure.
I personally don't mind it that much, but it does sound weird too at the same time.
It sounds as though they got their standard all on that sound and then just ran with basically one sound.
Yeah, for like ever.
With a couple of minor variants, because there are moments where there will be a slightly different sound, so it's kind of strange to me. They put a couple of different bat sounds in,
yeah,
but they're all like very wrong and not very realistic. Occasionally, you should hear a very good, clear, crisp wood on ball sound, but you never hear that. You don't ever get that in this game. You don't get. You just don't get that, and you know you get it in real life. If you ever been to a baseball game, sooner or later you're going to hear that sound.
Or play baseball with a wooden bat with your uncle, like I have.
Yeah, yeah. Sooner or later you are going to hear that sound that everyone remembers. And well, for anyone who's been to an actual baseball game,
Same thing goes.
Loves the sound of.
Same thing goes with a baseball on an aluminum bat. That I'm even more familiar with playing baseball on leagues when I was a kid.
It's just weird to me that, you know, there's something so primal to the sport would be so. Again, it seems like the developers have never been to a baseball game. If they were happy with those sounds, probably never been to a baseball game. Which to me is that's bad if they're developing a major baseball game and they've never been to a baseball game.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So
either that or they've gone deaf somehow and they don't have good hearing or something, I guess. But you shouldn't have people with bad hearing working on the sound development of a game. That's sort of like out of their league at that point.
Yeah. So
yeah, the sounds could be a lot better. It's weird that they went in the wrong direction with the sounds on the game.
And graphically, it looks basically the same thing as last year's.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything different.
Identical. Yeah, so, but then again, I was playing 21, 22, and 23 all on my Series X. So I imagine it would probably look kind of different from PS4 to Series X or PS4 to PS5.
Oh, sure, yeah. When they jump generations, that's a different story. Of course, it'll always look, better.
But when you're jumping from one year to the next on the same hardware, there isn't a difference graphically. Gameplay wise, same settings as last year to a point. A couple of new ones here and there that you could finagle with, but I usually go with the classic controls because it's just what I prefer, and it's just easier to play a baseball game with classic controls.
The one thing that all of this once again brings up is the foolishness that the gaming industry has decided to go with, it having every single year game release.
Yeah. A game as a service, you mean?
Well, okay, here's the thing. I'm not talking about a game as a service. I'm talking about the concept of releasing a new baseball game or whatever sport it might be.
Every year, yeah.
Every single year, a new game in the series.
Which I get it to like capitalize on the new season starting. I get that.
No, I get that, but you could always do that with a previously existing gaming platform. You can have ongoing games. You don't have to release a new game every year.
You can.
They decided to do it this way, and it's very strange and old timey. It's like an idea from 25 years ago that's not playing out well anymore because it's not the way games are done anymore.
What you could do instead of releasing a whole new game every year, release like an update to the modern game, and it's released like a certain size because it's changing a whole bunch of things. Maybe like some teams' uniforms change, some teams' logos might change. The rosters, goddamn sure do change. And just update the previous game, and then when you're ready to release a whole new fucking game, like a couple years later or whatever, do that. But no. That's probably never going to happen.
The way I see it, they could easily just make a game, call it MLB The Show. They could have done that, and then what they could do for every new year, until of course they change actual platforms, between generations of actual console or whatever. All they have to do is release patch updates for the game, so that players can just download the new season player rosters or whatever, independent of releasing a new game. You know what I mean? They can easily do that.
If they want, yeah.
And it would work better, too, because you wouldn't be asking the consumer to spend $60 or whatever it is every single year.
Mm-hmm.
And then would have to run out and get another copy. I mean, it sort of just seems like the old gaming industry, the way gaming industry greed used to be, only it's not working so well on the customer end. But it doesn't seem like the customers are bitching too hard because, I mean, everyone's cool with it, I guess.
Well,
If
the
it were me,
fact.
I don't want to buy a new $60 game every damn year.
Well, keep in
That's
mind
exactly the
that
same as last year, except for rosters.
well, in this case, it's the next gen version I'm talking about here, and that's $70. First of all,
Yeah.
and secondly, MLB The Show is in Game Pass at launch too, so it's not like you have to fucking buy it. You can just download and play it, and if you're not precious, uninstall it and just forget about it, and you don't even have it at that point.
Yeah.
But on that note, do you want to get into the scores from the scoring system for this thing?
Sure. Yeah.
But before we do, there is something that got brought up recently on Hello Beautiful's channel that she was talking about. Is gaming dying? Well, if MLB The Show 23 is any indication, probably. Because MLB The Show 23 seems to be suffering from the same symptoms that the rest of the gaming industry has. Annual releases hurting games. Games that are half-baked and need more time in the oven. MLB The Show 23 comes to mind at the moment. And everything and everything that comes with that, yeah?
I would say it's lacking creativity because they didn't change anything. Imagine being a developer, okay?
Yeah.
And the task at hand is basically so damn simple. All you got to do is take last year's game, cut off a few specific little pieces, attach a new few parts for this year, and sell it out as a new game. I mean, this is the easiest developer job imaginable. You don't have to create anything. You don't have to write a new story. You don't have to involve yourself with any characters or anything. You don't even have to change them. Like everything is the same, except for the character, the player name and some of the faces. That's literally it. And they still can't do it right. And I don't get it. Like there are indie developers that do better work than these people.
Oh yeah. And I talked about that recently myself. So.
And I just don't get that. Is it just like angry employees, people who don't want to work for corporate? I mean, what is it? Because it's ridiculous that a game with such a high profile like that can be so poorly and lousily put together.
Yeah. So, and to clarify what I was saying about gaming dying and whatnot, as a whole, I don't think the whole industry is dying. AAA gaming has a terminal illness, is what I'm saying. Indie games seem to be doing just fine.
Yeah, I don't really think it's about gaming in general. It's just that people are looking for games with actual heart in them, not just cookie cutter corporate bullshit.
Yeah.
People see through that at this point. They go, oh, another game just so that the developer gets more money. Oh, good.
And then there's games that are single player based that apparently need to be connected online at all times. Why? To rob you blind and reach up your ass for more coins, microtransactions, and full price $60 games, or $70 in this case for next gen. But to clarify that thought, which we're on the internet, we have to clarify fucking everything. This doesn't mean that I don't support microtransaction in games. I do, in free-to-play games like Fortnite, even though I fucking hate Fortnite. But not in Fallout, not in the Elder Scrolls, not in $70 games like MLB The Show or Madden, for example. No. In Fortnite and in, what was that one World War II game that we played a while back together?
Oh, you're talking about, I forgot what that was even called.
Let me look that up, because that's going to bother me for fucking ever at this point. Once the thing loads on my screen here. Here we go. Owned games. Because it was a game that enlisted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Enlisted, yeah.
That's a free-to-play game. That would be acceptable for... and there's 14 updates to things? Okay, I'm going to have to deal with that after this, apparently.
Yeah, the thing I was going to say is I'm not the biggest fan of microtransactions either. I'm really not.
In fact, I've
I'm
never
still
bought
annoyed they
any
don't
to
sell
this
you a
day,
complete
so
game.
yeah.
You know, I'm still annoyed that they don't sell complete games anymore. I'm one of those people.
Yeah, so am I. I'm right there with you, bro.
But they can't also put those microtransactions in the game and then pretend like they didn't. Pretend like that wasn't something that they chose to do. It is something they chose to do.
Yeah, to try to nickel and dime you in an economy that fucking sucks. And that's as political as we're going to get on this channel.
It's transparently, well, I mean, for lack of a better word, greedy. It's wanting to squeeze more money out of the same amount of creativity. And okay, some will say that's just efficiency, but I would say, well, what about back in the day? Like, how did they manage? I mean, just because
they managed on releasing quality fucking games.
I mean, doesn't just because you release a AAA game with a wonderful platform where you didn't even have to work as hard to develop it, doesn't mean you should walk away, you know, on top of the industry just because you basically put out a game that everyone heard about because of the advertising base. I mean, the only reason that a lot of these games even sell 1 million copies is because of how much advertising they've got on them. They're not word of mouth games. They're games that are like already established IPs, or they are already going to be getting attention regardless of how good the game is. They don't even have to be good. They could be garbage. They could have 10,000 problems with them, and people will still buy them because of their, you know, their name recognition and their advertising dollars. Okay, so you know, indie games have to live on the merits, and AAA games basically live on, you know, borrowed value.
Yeah.
And I just if that part of the video game world is dying, if that AAA part is dying, then good riddance, because it's never been amazing.
Yeah.
It's always been bloated. It's always been corporatized. It's always been soulless, and it's always been like, if you like paying more for a less quality game, then AAA is the way to go.
Yeah.
You know.
So on that note, before I go through all of the scores for the different categories for MLB The Show 23, what's your personal score out of 10 for MLB The Show based on what you've seen?
I probably, based on what I have seen, which is not, I have not personally played, you know, games, so I've only seen gameplay.
Which you could, because you subscribe to Game Pass too.
No, I know, but it's a matter of, you know, putting the time in, because I like to, you know, like play the hell out of the game.
Yeah. I saw you playing Elder Scrolls Online like five days ago again.
Yeah. What I was gonna say though is that it is a worth playing game. Okay, it would be a 6 at least in my book as a baseball game. So I mean, it's building off of a gaming series that is well established, well loved. Obviously, the show is the best baseball game series that is currently out there. It still is. It probably will be for a while. They've made some missteps. So, I mean, back in 2020, you know, with MLB Show 20, I said, okay, this game is very close to a perfect baseball game.
Yeah, but to this day, I still feel the best MLB The Show that's ever been made.
Yeah, it is. But this one is kind of a bit of a backstep. So, I mean, I probably would go 6.5.
Kind of. When my opinion of a sports game is, it needed more time in the oven. that's a problem because these are annual releases anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But on that note, so you're at a 6 out of 10, right?
Yes, I'm willing to say 6.5 if you do halves, if not 6.
I'll get to my personal score in just a second, but let's check out the review scores and the system that I use, which, as you guys may be aware here on the channel, for years since I've been doing YouTube, I've been trying to grade games based on categories that the game should be graded on, like gameplay, art direction, character models, and you guys get the idea, right? So on that note, like all games that come out since like 2 or 3 years ago when the current system was revamped to be what it is today, the categories are as follows: direction, gameplay, art, character model, sound effects, music, story, servers, MTX, which stands for microtransactions. And I'll get to how that works in a second. Animations, multiplayer, graphics, replay value, AI, as in how the NPCs in the game function, physics, and bugs. Now, microtransactions is graded on a scale of -10 to +10. Negative scores are reserved for full price paid games. All paid games that have microtransactions are going to start with a handicap, always with a negative score in this category. Free-to-play games start as a positive and can work positive or negative, but so can a full-price game go into the positive based on the prices of the microtransactions. So, for example, if like the highest skin in a free-to-play game is priced at like $5, well, that score will probably be like a +10 or a +10 or a +9 out of a possible 20 at that point, I guess it would be. So therefore, I just add 10 to the overall score, and then I divide by the number of categories to get an average score, and that's the official rating of said game. So with all of that out of the way, here are the official scores from my rating system for MLB The Show, guys. Direction, 8 out of 10. Gameplay, 7 out of 10. There are some bugs in it. Like with the ball going through the bat, like once in a blue moon, and you're trying to field the ball, it goes right through the glove. Those are still issues from previous shows, which is why gameplay got a 7 out of 10. Art got a 9 out of 10. It looks like a current gen baseball game. Anything you want to add so far, Nord, before I get to character models?
Oh no, the look is the same. I mean, that's
Yeah.
To me, you basically wouldn't be able to tell much of a difference between the previous year's game and this year's game. So, yeah, and graphics I haven't seen any difference really.
Well, I haven't gotten that far yet, so don't beat me to the graphics. But the art in the game is what you expect for baseball.
Yeah, no, it's the same style.
It's a 9 out of 10 for the art. But the character model scores a 7 out of 10. Looks no fucking different from MLB The Show 21 on the Series X. No fucking difference at all that I can tell. But servers are an 8 out of 10. I have not had any server issues with the game whatsoever. And the one attempt to play it online against somebody that I've tried so far did not drop, got through the game, had no issues whatsoever. So the servers will get an 8 out of 10 unless I find out that there's mass crashing, which happens in modern gaming quite a bit. Nord?
Yep. Yeah, I haven't heard about too much crashing either. So, I mean, that's...
Which is good.
At least they're stable.
The music in the game is a 6 out of 10. I felt that the best music from MLB The Show that I've ever heard is whatever game had this song, Majestic Emerald Green, in it, which I feel was like the show like 7 or 8 or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like one of the last PlayStation 2 games. So it's been a long time since I've actually thoroughly enjoyed the music in MLB The Show. Hence why it got a 6 out of 10, just like last year. And I'm not done mentioning last year's game with these scores either, trust me. But oh wait, that was sound effects that I missed. Sound effects got an 8 out of 10.
That actually was where I had a bit of criticism. Yeah.
I docked a couple points for various sounds, but overall, the rest of it sounded really good. The foot on the bag and the running sound relatively all right. Would you disagree?
No, I agree.
Okay, so after we already covered the servers, microtransactions, a -5 out of 10. As I said previously, with the microtransactions category, paid games are going to start in the negative, and based on the prices, I don't think the prices for stubs are fucking outrageous, like prices of shit for Star Wars Battlefront 2 was, but it's a $70 game on next-gen hardware that has microtransactions. -5 on the score, bro.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add about the microtransactions category?
Well, I mean, yeah, like you said, it appears that there are, sizable microtransactions in this one. So
no,
it's
like I said, they're not outrageous for like most AAA games. In fact, it's kind of middle of the road. They're not great, but it is what it is. It's a AAA game with microtransactions.
Yep.
However, animations, 7 out of 10. There's a couple issues with some animations that I saw, i.e. the ball going through the glove. You swing and try to hit the ball that goes through the bat. That should have been a hit, guys. Or at minimum,
basic stuff.
Or at minimum, a foul ball or a ground ball out. But the multiplayer, 9 out of 10, did not have any issues with that. Replay value, I skipped one. Graphics, 7 out of 10. Looks no different from two years ago when it first made its debut on the Xbox.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty much exactly the same in that graphic department.
Yeah, which is why it scores a 7. It's not terrible graphically. In fact, it's really good, but nothing has gotten any better.
The standard on 10 for your rating system is it would have to be mind-blowing in order to be a 10.
Yeah, it would have to be effectively Uncanny Valley would have had to have been left in the dust like a couple years ago for a 10 in modern gaming here. But replay value, it scores a 9 out of 10. There's a lot of modes you can play through. 32 or is the 30 teams in Major League Baseball still?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so yeah, 30 teams you could play with. Road to the Show, you could do so much, like catcher, pitcher, 3 outfielders, 4 infielders. The replay value is almost a 10 here for MLB The Show. The AI is a 7 out of 10. I've seen some videos from some people on YouTube showing that like certain players wouldn't play the ball off the wall the way that they do in the game because they're a lot smarter than that in real life. So that's why I'm kind of sitting at a 7 out of 10 for AI in the game, bro. Any disagreement, or should I just keep going?
No, I don't have any real disagreement with that. I mean, the CPU, as they said, we use the CPU, and I would say the AI,
or the NPCs if you prefer, because that's a joke.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's not. It ain't perfect, but it's pretty decent. So it's not a real criticism point. of the game.
Yeah, the physics are an 8 out of 10. They're exactly what the show needs for physics, as far as I'm concerned. And bugs are a 6 out of 10 because of the bugs that we were talking about at the start of the stream. So on that,
Yep.
add up all the categories that are applicable except for story, because this is a sports game. There's no narrative to this. It's no Skyrim. It's no Fallout. It's no Marvel Spider-Man. This is a sports game. So on that note, exactly the same score as last year's show, 6.8 out of 10. I was surprised when I added it all up and divided by the 14 or 15 categories here and got 6.8. And I'm like, I wonder what last year's game scored. And I saw the same exact number. I'm like, well, that's fitting.
Yep. Well, I mean, there are some things that are a little better and some things that are a little worse, but overall, it's the same. So.
Now, as I said previously, I would go through all the scores and ratings from the rating system itself, which I still don't have a name for after all these years. So until one comes along or Nord thinks of something that might work for the name for the game rating system or rating system I used to rate pretty much anything. In this case, games, because I really don't have one for TV shows and movies. I just go off of, was it written well? But as it is,
it doesn't really need a name. It just, as long as it's logical and follows a common system unto itself.
Yeah,
and
it's based on everything that I mentioned previously of all the categories, and most categories except microtransactions are on a scale of 0 to 10, which is kind of what the total is based on, the average of that. So. But on that note, my personal score for MLB The Show 23, as the one who has been playing it here, at worst, 5.1. At best, a 6.3, I'd say. So still less than the rating system itself, but somewhere. No, you said at worst a 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
I disagree. At worst, it's worse than that. And until San Diego Studios finally patches the fucking bugs out of it, which shouldn't be in it in the first place, like with the equipment shit, there's no way, I think in good faith, that this should even be considered for Sports Game of the Year. But then again, look what it's probably going to be up against. NBA 2K, Madden coming out at the end of the summer.
Yep,
it's
got a lot of competition.
No, it's got no fucking competition is what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you were saying that it's,
No,
I thought you were listing off the things that it's up against.
Yeah, I am. And Madden, that's been a joke for the last 15 years.
Such low expectations of Madden that Madden doesn't.
And NBA 2K, I'm not even a fucking basketball fan. But you can't dispute that NBA 2K, if I had played it, probably would have been neck and neck with the show last year. Probably. However, am I going to go spend $70 on a fucking basketball game? Absolutely fucking not. And it is what it is.
I mean,
now, if it launches day and date in a Game Pass, I'll probably give it a look at that point. But still.
I mean, this year is either going to be a year of a bunch of surprises no one saw coming, or not much at all.
Well, we'll see, because we're still waiting to know with the cancellation of E3 at this point, which broke shortly before I was on Bruce's Twitch channel for her gaming podcast on Thursday night. If you guys haven't checked that out, please go check out Hello Brutiful on Twitch, and go check out Unfiltered Brew, hosted by her. I was her guest on Thursday. Go check that out. We were talking about Is Gaming Dying? The Last of Us TV show, which is why she asked that I wear my Fuck Naughty Dog t-shirt, which I did for her. And yeah, and I was drinking because we were talking about The Last of Us.
Yeah.
And that is always such a good time, talking about The Last of Us at all. But I did have a great time with Brew, and I hope to do it again at some point in the future. So, on that note, any other thoughts about the show before we get into what we've been playing, what we're going to be doing, and basically ending the review here at this point, bro?
Mm-hmm.
So, what's up?
The only thing I would say about it is that, considering it's the fact that it's on Game Pass, it's worth a download and a play.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about the question. Is it worth it?
Mm-hmm.
As a $70 next gen game in its current state, $70? Absolutely fucking not.
No, it's not worth 70. Definitely not.
Is it worth $60 on last gen hardware like the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One? If yours is still working, guys, watching this on YouTube. Well,
mine is.
I know yours is. Fuck off, asshole. Anyway, but
pretty much nobody is using one of those anymore.
But $60 on last gen hardware? Absolutely not. Is it worth downloading from Game Pass on Xbox Series X, S, Xbox One? Yes. It's absolutely worth downloading if you're already subscribed to Game Pass. But if you're looking to buy it, wait for a sale. Wait till I'd say it's $30 or less in its current state. Because I can't in good faith suggest this thing for anything more than $30, i.e. $29.99, bro.
Yeah.
Now, if San Diego Studios releases a patch to fix the issues like the equipment shit and other issues that people are having all along those lines, it might be worth $50 at that point, maybe. But even that is still wait for a sale at that point. And when I say 50, I mean on all platforms, not just next gen and last gen, but all platforms, including, and God forbid, buying it for the Switch. Bro, because it is on the Switch too, folks. God help you if you're playing it on the Switch and the Series X is having bugs. I cannot imagine how piss poor it's going to be playing on such a limited console like the Switch.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be playing too well.
Which also brings up, in terms of things that aren't doing too well technically on platforms, The Last of Us Part 1 on PC looks as rough as Cyberpunk 2077 on the regular PS4 when that came out.
Yep.
So on all of that note, is the show worth it? Downloading on Game Pass? Yes, absolutely. Buying it? No. Not in its current state. It's not worth shelling out for at this point in time. So that answers the question, is MLB The Show worth it? Depending on how you're getting your hands on it, if it's worth it or not. But on that note, as I said earlier, 5 days ago was the last time I saw you online, right? Bro?
Mm-hmm.
Playing Elder Scrolls Online again for the millionth time.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
well, I mean,
let me guess, you're going to play that again tonight.
Well, I played it every day, and I do intend to be a daily player for, the foreseeable future.
So in other words, until Desert Nord comes out and says, "Hey, I've been playing something different," we're not going to bother asking him for his shit ever again.
Well, I have also been playing other games. I mean, I was playing Borderlands 3, and couple other things.
You've been playing Borderlands 3?
Yes.
Who hurt you?
Just to see how it is, you know.
That's a thing that I'm going to start doing. For example, and the inspiration for it was a super chat on Friday Night Tights that someone asked Gary, or had said to Gary that he or she tried pineapple on pizza and that they had one question for Gary: who hurt you? So I'm going to start doing that. If it's something that I know is fucking terribly written, doesn't run very well, or any combination of those, or any combination of crap, that's going to be what I'm going to ask that person from now on. Just one question: who hurt you? Otherwise,
you can imagine I've been playing Elder Scrolls as much as I have, Elder Scrolls Online. I have a high tolerance for crap, because in the grand scheme of things, that game is not amazing.
Yeah, you do have a high tolerance for crap. You work on YouTube with me.
Yeah, well.
And on Twitch with me, because you refuse to do anything on your own Twitch channel. Still.
Yeah.
But considering playing games, as I was texting Nord to find out when we were going to do this, I was in the process of working on getting back into Assassin's Creed Valhalla because I wanted to finish playing it. Because I still hadn't done that yet after all this time. Because it came out in like 2018, I believe. Or was it 19?
Probably 19, if I remember correctly, yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't finished it yet. And I'm going to try to absolve for the foreseeable future trying to get through my fucking backlog. So if you see me streaming my backlog and not something new, that's why. So, also, obviously, I was playing MLB The Show. That came out, and I was doing that for the purpose of doing this. Reviewing it on YouTube for you guys. So, Assassin's Creed, MLB The Show, fidgeting with some mods in Skyrim to try to get back into the adventures of Drew Heartfire at some point. Probably after I've moved to Arizona, because that's about 3-4 weeks from now. About 3 weeks from now. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So obviously I will disappear at some point, and you won't see content from me for a while. That's why, because I'm in the process, or will be in the process of getting on the road to Arizona, finding a stable place to live out there, and once I get in that stable place, getting everything set up the way I like it, getting internet access at my permanent place to live out in Arizona. And then at that point, I'll be able to figure out when can I actually do content, because if I have a full-time job, which it looks like is going to be the case out there, it might just be on weekends at that point. Chances are.
Yeah, that would be my guess. You're going to be a weekend content guy or an after-work content guy.
Depending on the level of energy that I have after work, and if I can stream for like an hour or two before going to bed or something. We will have to see. In other words, yeah, I'm bringing whatever sheets of paper I got that has had my streaming schedule as it has changed over the years with me, but I don't know if I'm probably going to be throwing those out when I get there. And just writing something else out. Yeah.
It'll be different. But it'll be different in a good way.
Yeah, I'll be around those that I work on YouTube with at that point. Shut up, phone. Like you and Joshy, and then also other people whom I said shut up, phone. That's probably Discord saying something. Because I forgot I had that on my phone, and I opened it up at one point a couple days ago, and because of it, the notifications are back from Discord again. So, in other words, when someone's saying something like on the RK Outpost server on Discord or any server that I'm a part of, I get a notification about it even though I'm not involved. Again.
Yep.
But as it is, what the hell was I saying?
You were just talking about the future of your little podcast here.
Well, of the channel itself, because
Channel. Yep.
this is review shit. So, or at least this part is the update to what might happen in the future, and that is, I don't plan on stopping doing this anytime soon, if ever. Same thing goes for the secondary channel of Drew Dad Underground, where we talk politics, I react to music videos, and things of that nature. I don't plan on going away completely. It's just obviously that I'm going to have to take a break for a while for the process of getting my ass out of fucking Minnesota, finally, and being around my family and all of that, and getting set up to where I can consistently do this shit again at that point. But as it is, anything that you're looking forward to gaming-wise that's still to come at this point in time, in the immediate future, that we know for sure beyond any doubt, wink, wink, that is coming out. There's a reason that I word it that way, Nord.
The only big thing that's for certain for me is the Necrom chapter of ESO, which comes out in June.
Thank you for not saying Starfield, because I was trying to get you not to.
No, I wasn't going to say Starfield. No.
Yeah, because, it has its release date, but until we get fucking pre-orders live, I don't fucking believe it.
Yeah.
But, I was trying not to talk about Starfield, and I talked about it. Anyway, coming up like in the next week or two is Minecraft Legends on Game Pass. So I'll be attempting to stream that on Twitch and see what happens. My expectations are it being a one and done stream type of game for me. But we'll see, because you never know, because Minecraft was fun when I first played that. So who knows what, because if this is more of a story-driven equivalent of Minecraft, I probably would enjoy it more than the actual Minecraft itself. Anything you want to add to that?
Oh no, I have seen a lot of Minecraft, and I've played a little bit of it too. But I'm not what you would call a fan of it. So well, I'm sure it's exciting for all the fans of it. It's not really on my radar as much. So
so on that, after this, what are you going to be up to?
Well, probably going to have Mom's probably going to come visit one of my place. Other than that, I'm going to be playing Elder Scrolls a little later. I play it every day. They're having a Jester Festival right now, so
a Jester
it's an event on there.
Festival.
Yeah, the Jester Festival. So there's a lot of players online right now.
I wasn't aware that they had a special festival for heel versus babyface.
Yeah.
Sorry, Yaz. I love you.
Yeah, it's a clown show,
Now, we're not saying the heel versus babyface is a clown. We're just saying that he's funny and very entertaining is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm going to get back to Assassin's Creed Valhalla and try my best to get through that as much as I can. And I'm going to wait to play the show again and try the road to the show after I see a patch. If I see a patch before I move to Arizona at this point. Because I'm not going to hold my breath, because I'm fairly certain I'll suffocate if I try to hold my breath on Sony and San Diego Studios releasing a patch for an Xbox game.
Yeah.
And I know what some people are going to say in the comments to that. But Drew, it's also on PlayStation. Why'd you call it an Xbox game? Because I'm playing it on Xbox. Go fuck yourself. That's why I talked about downloading from Game Pass, motherfuckers. But anyway, with all that said, as we said, the show, not worth the money to buy and play it. It is worth downloading and playing on Game Pass, if for no other reason, playing franchise mode. Their version of Ultimate Team, which I can't remember what it's called, and the historical league that's in the game. Anything you want to add about any of the other modes before we shut it down for the night?
No. I think that for the most part, there isn't a whole lot to note about them. I wasn't blown away by what I was seeing with the reviews on the creation and the creativity department.
Yeah.
So just sounds like more the same for the most part.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is a buggier, just as expensive version of last year's game.
Yeah. There's a couple of things that are broken that fit.
Yeah. And then the running animation is a little weirder than last year too. Because you'll overrun the bag and then act like you're running to the bathroom, shitting your pants, try to get back to the base. The fuck kind of animation is that? But anyway.
Yeah.
That's a well, we had to end with a shitty ending. So on that note, guys, there's your shitting your pants joke for the day. On that note, I'm Drew. He's Desert Nord. Go follow Desert Nord 26, subscribe to Desert Nord 26 on YouTube for his memes, which he hasn't done in forever.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've made anything new on there, but
well, memeing the show would be fitting at this point. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I just
my fancy, sometimes it doesn't.
Before on the stream, I just thought of a good meme for the show 23. Watching someone try to quit their shit in the road to the show, it disappearing, then cutting to that one internet guy that everyone uses, going, "What the fuck?" You know.
Yep.
That would be perfect.
You're talking about Mikado, right?
I don't know his name. He's got black hair. He's got a little scruff.
Never mind. That's the other guy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Now I remember. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That would be fitting to do for a meme for the show if you were inclined to do something like that, even though I know you do political stuff on your channel.
Well, it's sort of meant to be everything. It just happened to be that last year, so.
But either way, you can also follow Desert Nord 26 on Twitter. He doesn't do much with it. He generally only speaks when spoken to, which is how you're supposed to be doing things. I love you, Joshy. But I hope you're having a good time at the concert, Joshy. I really do. But you can also find me on Twitter as at dat_Drew. You can find me as DrewDat_Underground for my political takes, music video reactions to stuff like Tom McDonald, Samson, and all that stuff. Find me on Twitch as DrewDat_Underground Games. And you can find me also on YouTube as DrewDat_Underground Gaming. You know, the channel you're watching right now. Like, subscribe, comment down below too, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have yourself a great night. And San Diego Studios, please, for the love of God, release a goddamn patch.
Yeah.